put me down.
Here it is, the first day of Everfree Northwest 2025 here in Washington State. And usually I'd be doing some B-roll footage, I'd be shooting some extra footage, you know, having you guys see the behind the scenes footage of what it's like to be at this event. But this year, I've decided I wanted to do something different. I'm not going to be shooting some behind the scenes footage on the very first day. Instead, we're going to be bringing an old friend to the venue. Back in April of this year, BabsCon had closed for good, and Golden Gates sadly said her final goodbyes.
Here it is. One last time.
However, I told some of the organizers that I would be taking her with me to the event in Seattle this weekend, so she can say her final goodbyes to the venue in the Pacific Northwest. Instead of going around and filming their progress, we're gonna do some final photo opportunities before her official long-term retirement. Kinda had a crazy photo opportunity. Lengthy retirement after her 11 years of operation out in California. So I thought I would pass along the honors. But yeah, this year, we're not just doing behind the scenes so that way you guys can see how the event is. This year, I'm more focused on giving an old friend their final goodbyes. And I'm not saying that I'm leaving Everfree for good. However, next year, I might be traveling alone without her. And this was her last ever year to even remain relevant in today's conventions. So I figured this would be the best time to have an old friend say their final goodbyes. I like how this year they actually covered the piano because a lot of people were playing something built in 1899 and getting security called on them. However, I see something that does not belong on here though. Come on, dude. Can't be doing that, guys. I'm trying to prevent you from getting in trouble. I hope you guys don't mind if an old friend came to say their final goodbyes. So we're in Lincoln/Bellevue Square right now, and it looks like all the shops have closed for the day too. This would be the perfect time for an old friend to say their goodbyes. So you know what? If some of that residue is left behind from our last visit, maybe she can have a piece of it. Just the way that everything is laid out around this place is just really, really interesting. I hope they won't mind if I use their location for an old friend to say their final goodbyes. An old friend wanted to say their goodbyes. I have no intent on disrupting business or disrupting the closure period. Just some old friend wanted to stop by and say goodbye. Now my big question is, what is up with this structure, dude? Like, I've never understood this art piece. Here's one of the sightseeing things I missed out on 2 years ago. It's gonna be hard to see it right now, but this is just like a straight up waterfall just raining down from the ceiling of this place. And I think it like gets recycled all the way back at the bottom, and then it like rinses and repeats again. Or it's just like an endless cycle of a waterfall just streaming straight down. This was like something we missed out on during our last visit 2 years ago. We go bother our old friends at the Regal, or not Regal, sorry, the Cinemark Lincoln Squares that's up here. Man, this place, dude. Back in 2023 with our Netflix celebrities, this is where the magic had started before I had dinner with Jenna Warren, Joshua Graham, and Anna Sani back in Everfree Northwest 2023. The reason that I came back this year, 2 years later, it wasn't because it was just another year at this event. The reason I came back was I wanted to conclude this year on a high note after losing the event in San Francisco, but also out of a multitude of different events that are out there, like the events in like Milwaukee and Florida and I think even Chicago and some of the other ones that are like starting up in Germany and like late at this time of year, was I only go to one event per year. This year I was lucky enough to make 2 events. And I wanted to conclude this year by going back somewhere where we shared the most memorable experiences 2 years ago at 2 separate locations. Everfree Northwest 2023 was my first time at this event. And one of the most unforgettable, intense experiences that basically still lives rent-free in my life, even 2 years later. BabsCon is completely gone. So which means this is technically the last event that is left on the West Coast. And I want to try to make this event work. And so far it looks like it might work. And we just shared the most memorable experiences the first time we were here in 2023. So here we go with the first day here at Everfree Northwest 2025 in Washington State. And I don't think I ever got the chance of explaining why out of all the events that are ongoing the rest of 2025 that I chose to came back to this event. So here we go. The first day of Everfree Northwest 2025 here in Washington State. And I never really got the chance to fully explain why I chose this event to return to conclude this calendar year out of other events that are starting up in Chicago, Milwaukee, Germany, or Orlando. And there's a reason why I chose to come back to this event 2 years later. The reason I decided to come back to this event exactly 2 years since our last visit was I wanted to conclude the 2025 calendar on a high note, because next year I don't know what it looks like on my calendar, but I'm definitely gonna try to see if I can come back again. The last time we were here was in 2023 with 6 of the lead Netflix voice actors, and that was my first time here. And we had some really crazy, unforgettable situations that occurred in this very same building, in this very same venue, that it wasn't that far down a list of I wanted to come back to this place and just end this year with just some of the greatest memories. I mean, literally, just right through these doors, I had my first ever VIP experience in 2023. And this was also my first time at Everfree Northwest. And we had dinner with 3 of the lead Netflix voice actors of Make Your Mark: Jenna Warren, Joshua Graham, and Anna Sani. And it was one of the most intense, unforgettable, craziest VIP experiences that I had ever had, even with it being the first time with a VIP experience. After the event in California had concluded, a lot of people told me to come back here, and I did. That's why we're here this weekend. There is no doubt in my mind that I would turn down an opportunity from a lot of people saying that I should come to this event next. With everything that happened in 2023, dude, I would take any opportunity to come back to this place. Came to this event for the first time 2 years ago, and I was like, yeah, not really much is gonna happen at this place. And then the freaking lid got blown off of this place with some of the craziest experiences that still live in my life to this day from 2 years ago, rent-free. I hope we're ready for another exciting weekend, because if it's anything like what happened 2 years ago, we're in for another freaking exciting weekend. Bro, this is that stairway that a couple years ago I made that all you had to do was follow that train CJ joke. Well, I was like, well, I'm just like stepping in ambience, and I was like, hey CJ, all you had to do was follow that train. And walking down these stairs makes me sound like I'm walking in like ambience in San Andreas, just.
Hey yo, CJ, all we had to do was follow that train.
Oh, what the heck? It's like a hallway just full of art that's just chilling over here. Bruh. Speaking of CJ, all you had to do was follow that train. Don't know what CJ following the train has to deal with, just ironically just seeing all the artwork just placed like this, but alright. I dropped off the old friend back at the hotel room, but I'm just walking around just doing some extra footage now. I mean, I gotta go on a diet anyways. It is the first day of Everfree Northwest 2025, and I noticed how most of these restaurants have a food safety rating across King County and Seattle. And I think honestly that's beautiful, so that way you know what you're digging yourself into, is if it's a clean restaurant or not. Back in my own hometown, there was a Red Robin Gourmet Burgers across the street from my job that I think got a very unsatisfactory visit from the health examiner. And apparently those hamburgers had gotten like roaches and stuff in their food, which is really disgusting. I don't understand how people would eat it like Red Robin and then like just be perfectly okay with like eating roaches. Seems like a lot of people that I ran across in King County, Bellevue, or Seattle, there's a lot of good health places, including apparently the Starbucks that passed inspection. So I mean, it's nice to know you're drinking nice, clean, filtered Starbucks coffee in the morning, and not something that's probably filled with like roach shit. Just take a look at Bellevue Square, or sorry, not Bellevue Square, Bellevue Way for a second. You got Lucky Strike, you got Microsoft, Cinemark, Din Tai Fung, you got Cheesecake Factory, Crate and Barrel. It's like we're walking right in the middle of downtown Baltimore again, only a lot more nicer. We're walking down. See, this is basically everyday Baltimore traffic. Honking horns, ambulance sirens. Exactly my point. Right here, that's where the hotel is. This is where the event takes place every single year, right here on 900 Bellevue Way Northeast in Washington State. Ever since they moved from the Hilton Doubletree, they've been using this place. And honestly, a lot of the celebrities, excuse me for my stutter, actually don't mind using this one. It's a lot more nicer looking too. All right, it is officially party time. The opening ceremony and the vendor sections are opening, and meanwhile, I'm distributing some free table items to maybe level out a little bit more respect, so that way people will get a chance to know me up here in the Pacific Northwest. Because, like I said, this is my second year. I'd like to come back and support more, but as of what it looks like for next year, there's just a multitude of different things I'm dealing with for next year, but I'm gonna try to push as hard as I can to come back. Apparently, next month I gotta renew my tags on the car. Next year I gotta get new tires on the car. And yeah, there's just a lot of out-of-pocket finances that are coming up after New Year's. So I'm gonna try to push what I can to get back, but it's probably not gonna be easy. Oh, nice, they got some autograph rules in big text. So this is new. I'm not too sure if it's true or not, but I heard about this on Facebook that apparently somebody in 2024 had brought like over 20 items for Rebecca, the voice actor for Sunset Shimmer. They brought like over 20 items for Rebecca to autograph. And I'm not too sure if that was true or not. I only heard about it through Facebook, but it's actually pretty cool that they're taking precautions. Vouchers are required for all purchases. Exact voucher amount must be used. Cash will not be accepted by VIPs. Change will not be given. If you want to arrange for a higher quantity of autographs from a single VIP, please contact one of our guest relation team members and we will arrange for your items to be signed outside of autograph room hours. We also provide you with a pickup time and location. Please be mindful at your table or of your time at the table. There are many fans looking forward to meeting with the VIPs and there is a limited amount of time for all to do so. So it's actually pretty cool that they actually put some giant rules outbound. And honestly, if that one person actually did bring like 20 items, I hope these people actually took precautions on making sure that didn't happen. Because if somebody brought like 20 items to get signed all at once, I think that's just ridiculous. 20 items being signed at once is kind of like excessive. Something's telling me, and I could be wrong, that person was probably trying to flip some serious coin on eBay or any live auction websites. Man, look at this. We got a whole plushie table going on. Of course, I had to bring her. There is a lot of them. It's a whole pony plushie party at most. I just had a VIP experience with Nicole Oliver, Princess Celestia's former voice actor, cuz! Let's go! Wow, so Midnight Premiere is not doing a BabsCon lounge, she's doing a Glowing Sea lounge. Nice. Let's see how the old friends that I helped with their engagement are doing.
Close my eyes, your voice, when I hear it tonight, I know that everything will be alright. So I'll lie down and think of you with the words at your feet as you start to rise in the east. Nights get hushed now, quiet now as I drift to sleep. I'll see you in my dreams.
You wanna know the really sad thing? This is the only event table that they have for the venue in Texas, aside from the people in Vancouver, but there's no Bay Area table, unlike what happened last year. Speaking of California, actually, here's their table right here, and this morning I just purchased my flight information, so all that's just left is the hotel reservation, and we're ready to keep some promises. But you know what? Maybe we can always fix that. We can always just imagine. Well, here we go. The last 2 days of being in Seattle until next year. I guess we could always go check out the concert. You know what? Let's go do that. Oh yeah, wasn't this the hotel where I said back in 2023 that this place looked like the Diamond Casino heist from Grand Theft Auto 5? I could have sworn I remembered saying something about this place looking like the Diamond Casino heist.
This hotel's kind of nice, dude. Kind of looks like a freaking like Diamond Casino heist from Grand Theft Auto. If anybody still remembers that heist or if they still grind on it.
Just look at how it's laid out. I mean, it kind of looks like a Diamond Casino heist. Just like all characteristic and all fancy looking.